Hello everyone and welcome to Katharine's Creatures. This is episode 119 and this is a series we're going to talk a little bit about and touch base upon various mythological creatures, beast, beings, and the like pulled from lore worldwide. And I always like to preface by saying that I am not a linguist, so if I mispronounce anything along the way, I apologize in advance. I do try my best, and this one's going to be a tough one for me to pronounce. But I wanted to go to South America this time and talk about the Chullachaqui, which translates loosely to one-footed. It also has an alternative name, depending, I guess, on the region, called Shapishico. So either one. But essentially, the Chullachaqui, hopefully I pronounced it right, is a mythological forest spirit or creature that derives from Peruvian and the Brazilian Amazonian jungle. Now say that one multiple times. And he is usually depicted as male, short and ugly, with either one leg that's shorter than the other, and including, I guess I should say, not as well, including, so you have one short leg and one of his feet is also larger than the other, or is pointed backwards, or has a hoof. So you have the differentiation of stature between the legs and then some unusual characteristic of one of the two feet. But outside that, short, kind of ugly humanoid entity that lives in the jungles of the Amazon, again, in the Brazilian or Peruvian areas. Now, he is deemed various ways by different people. He is known to pursue victims, and we'll get into kind of the why later. But he pursues victims deep into the forest where it's so far away from civilization that even the best trackers get lost. And so once he kind of tries to lure them away and hopes that they do not return to their homes. And in doing so, how he does this is he can transform into pretty much any of the jungle wildlife. So he could be whatever your prey animal that you're seeking to hunt. He could also turn into, and use an illusion, to look like either a loved one or someone that's close in your family that you are now trying to follow because you recognize them. Again, getting yourself lost in the jungle and never being able to find your way back. Now, the only way to really identify him from the real animals and the real loved ones is the fact that no matter how well his illusion, how well this glamour, whatever you want to term it as, works, he can't change the fact that one of his legs is just not right. And usually it's because one is just not leveled out with the other, so being shorter. So that's a great way to ID that the Chullachaqui is the one that you are looking at and not whatever it is that he is disguised as. Now, there are some other variations of this entity, and some of them include the fact that he can take the appearance of a shorter man dressed in rags. And when you come upon this man, he'll like raise his fists in the air and kind of like challenge you to a fight. Now, here's the thing. If this happens, a man has to accept the challenge. He has to accept this challenge and defeat this little entity. If he does, the kind of riches of that are all hidden in the jungle will be revealed to you. Yay! If you fail, not so great. And if you decline, even worse. Now, obviously failure, you probably got pummeled a little bit. And if you decline, you are automatically cursed. And the curses can range from bad luck to the inability to hunt and then provide for your family, which is a bad thing. And even some things like causing your wife to leave you, or friends and family to turn into your enemies. So all not good things. So you want to, if you ever unfortunately run across the Chullachaqui who challenges you, make sure you accept and do try to win. Now, why does he do this? Well, he's essentially a guardian of the jungle, a guardian of the creatures that live there. And so he's there to kind of protect those creatures, that land, and punish men who either act foolishly in his jungle or break some sort of taboo that they believe in. And so be wary of that. And essentially, the backstory is that the Chullachaki is this kind of entity race or being that has existed years and years, centuries, eons before humans were a thing. So they are very old, I should say. And another thing to be aware of is they really don't want to take interest in humanity. They want to live in the jungle and be happy and go merry along their lives. They don't like intruders. And so if people, humans, encroach on their land, that's when bad things happen. So when you're entering to hunt or you're building farms and cutting down trees and invading the forest space, that's when you have some bad dealings with this creature. But essentially, he is this forest protector spirit. Now, the lore, again, varies depending on the region and everything, but I just thought this was really interesting because having this protector spirit, and again, he wants to protect the land, he wants to protect the animals, and for those who choose to encroach and live too close to him, or spend time in the jungles that are, again, getting too close to his area, that's when, again, things happen where he'll try to trick and lure women or some kind of spouse to become some kind of spouse, where he'll abduct children. And if a human is captured by the Chullachaqui, you become one of them. You actually transform and lose your humanity and become one of these four spirits. And so, again, beware, and you don't want to necessarily cross one because they could cast spells and, again, have abductions and all these not good things. So take care of the jungle. That's the moral of this particular entity story. If you have any questions about this or anything else, please message me in the comments below or reach out to me on any of my social media. And until next time, everyone, Skål.